I want to make some
cheese.
KRUMP2LOAF podcast brought to you by Spooky Sick.
All right, y'all just tuned in. You know what I'm saying? The Sick brand presents KRUMP2LOAF. I'm your host, Spooky Sick. I got our guest today, Lil Flower Nasti. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Man, I see you doing numbers. You know, your video got 48,000 views. Bye Bye Boy.
Yeah.
You have the My Chevrolet got 31,000 views.
I know that's your favorite.
It's my favorite. It's definitely my favorite.
Thank you.
How you feel about that?
I feel good. It's crazy because I directed and edited Bye Bye Boy, so it feels really good to see it like being received well and people just messing with it, you know, and just kind of have a little bit of both my arts in there.
So you had your whole hand on that whole project right there.
That's the first one that I actually got to have complete creative control on. Everything else I've kind of let people do their own thing, but with this one I was like, all right, we're gonna go in with this particular, you know, with Bye Bye Boy.
Wow, it was definitely colorful.
Yeah, it definitely matches my personality, you know.
For sure.
For sure, yeah. Thank you.
And you just got done performing out in Santa Rosa.
I mean, I wasn't supposed to perform. I just went out to photograph the Slap Frost tour, but they pulled me up there. But it was fun. I just did a song. It wasn't anything too crazy, you know, but.
Well, you're in a good community there.
Yeah, man, I'm lucky to have those dudes. Like, I feel very.
Della the fella. Shouts out to Della the fella.
But they welcome me. You know, they definitely include me as part of the community. So.
Almost like a second home.
Oh, you mean Santa Rosa as a whole?
Well, that's the community there, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, the Slap Frost dudes are out here, but I guess Vocab Slick and Della are out there for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it is a nice community, though.
Yeah, I mean, Santa Rosa's been embracing me.
I mean, it's a community.
There's
Cool community.
a lot of music out there, you know. So I'm going to be headlining a show out there in June. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's coming up with another guy that I've rubbed shoulders with, Strong Lung.
King Lung?
Something like that.
Yeah. He super talented, sweetheart. Super nice. I'm doing another show with him too. I've done like a few shows with them, so it's like there's a lot of the same overlapping artists kind of coming together when I go to play out there.
So what about My Chevrolet? How come you haven't performed that yet?
I mean, I literally just got the instrumental for it, you know, so I just kind of have to practice the actual performance of it because it's just not something I perform. I know you love it. I just haven't done it yet, but it's in my lineup for when I have bigger.
Honestly, now that I heard that song, like it was an instant classic because a lot of people are bringing back the old school music. I mean, you have the Indications, Duran Joe's The Indications. They're bringing back that old sound. Like I played some of their songs just in my car, and like my mom's and pops were like, "Hey, I never heard this oldie before." You know what I'm saying?
So they thought it was old school.
Yeah, but it's up to date. You know.
Yeah, kind of tricking them.
The Sinceres.
They're also newer.
They're also a new group too, and it's all old school vibe. I mean, I think it's dope. Because I mean, like I've dealt with a lot of producers, a lot of beat makers, and they all make hip hop beats. Obviously, I do rap, but the people that have been making hip hop and rap beats for so long, they branch out to like rock and roll because it's more intricate with the drums. There's more play. Instead of just a boom, boom, There's more to it in there.
That boom bap sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think they follow the old school, change ups, like a chorus, instead of just a beat.
Right. You do definitely see a lot of like overlap with hip hop and rock. Like you'll have rock bands that start rapping in the middle of their songs or whatever. I haven't seen that a lot over the last 10 years, but maybe more so lately.
Not like Linkin Park. I like Linkin Park.
They're kind of in the pop top 40, aren't they?
They're a pop group?
No, I mean it's not pop, but I'm just saying
they're
like
kind of pop.
it's more of the commercial side is what I mean, Like I mean people.
Well, shout out to Linkin Park,
people have a love
not
Linkin
this,
Park,
man.
No.
Tried so hard and I got this far, baby.
I know somebody.
I've seen a couple routines in my car.
No, people mess with Linkin Park. It's just on more on like the commercial side of things, for sure. That's funny. That's true. I think about that.
No doubt. What about what was the other guys? Crazy or something like that. They were like they had this whole psychedelic video. Butterfly, Sugar, Baby.
From back then? From back in the 2000s?
Crazy Town. You remember that? It was like all psychedelic. They had like butterflies.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Pretty cool
a little ravish. Like,
you know what I'm saying? That's like some rock, I guess. I don't know.
They have some rap in there too.
Yeah, they were rapping.
Definitely a happy, positive.
Limp Bizkit.
Blur.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit, Nookie.
But was Limp Bizkit also kind of commercial? Or no?
I mean, they was all like commercial because they was on MTV.
And
So
the radio. MTV just died. Did you hear that?
Oh, dude.
They just pulled the plug. I'm sorry, not to
I mean, no, that's fine.
I was
That's
just
fine.
like,
That's the point of this.
This is immediate news.
Yeah, no. This is the point of this
I was
podcast.
like, so
This is
thrown off.
Kurt Lauderdale.
Yeah.
My name is Spook Forever Well.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to bring it back. too.
Farewell, my nigga.
Yeah,
I'm surprised
yeah.
they didn't put it on streaming or something, you know?
Oh, it's
No doubt.
It's been definitely on the
No
Oh,
doubt.
that's-
Well,
I didn't even
Right.
cheers
know.
to, I'll tell you right now,
I didn't
cheers
even know.
and long live MTV.
Crazy
We're gonna
time.
keep the name alive for you. We love you. You know what I'm saying? The whole cast, I mean, from Celebrity Deathmatch to the Sweet 16 Baby, all that. We the real world, you know. That was a whole era. I grew up off of music. They used to have one late at night too. It was a rock and roll cartoon where the lady would show her breasts and her thong. She was like a superhero.
Remember
Oh,
Head-
I know.
remember Headmaster
Yeah,
did?
yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that crazy cartoon? That's some
Uh-huh.
weird aliens.
Oh yeah, remember Max Head, the head dude, like oh yeah, dude, I remember.
Remember when it was just music videos? Like,
Oh, yeah,
you
no,
just
that's
pop
a-
in and
that's-
it was like
I mean that's
music, TV.
that,
you know,
that's
like,
that was the start.
Yep, and then it kind of melded into reality TV.
What's his name? Carson Daly,
Mm-hmm.
DJ Scribble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, those were the days for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that, yeah, maybe a month ago, they were
Wow.
like, sad to say.
Yeah, they
I was like, damn.
well there's quite
the
a
end of an era. you
quite a
know?
few, you know, the bigger TV, like they were all gone. That's why the Writers Guild. So the Writers Guild, it's intentional.
Mm.
So the big production companies, they got a bunch of garbage people working for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you know, it's advantageous for them because after 2 months they can drop anybody, and so they're gonna wait 2 months, and they're gonna drop everyone and basically root out any kind of crap, and then whoever's still doing it, whoever's like producing things, this is what I like. But like, what did you do in your free time? So you know,
Got you.
pumping out some work, like quality, and then that's who will get picked up.
So there are contracts that after 2 months they can.
Yeah, that's the clause. That's the clause.
Wow.
So this is
Wow.
it's an intentional, you know, because right now the production companies are not spending a penny. So
Wow.
like literally they're shut down. So,
Wow, that's
but that's actually beneficial to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah, they can save some money.
well, and that and then, you know, they can open up some like real products and be able to take it back, like, you know, because they're not stuck in these contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that they're like, you know, the show's like okay, or you know, yeah. So you know, it's kind of interesting. You know,
Wow, I didn't know.
yeah.
How long has it been?
It's been they're going on 5 weeks.
Okay, so
going
people
on
are
5
hurting.
weeks.
People are starting to hurt.
And I mean, and I, you know, I know
Yeah.
I got my like I know people in the business quite a bit, and you know, again, this is it's an intentional move.
right.
So plus, you know, we're on a financial decline, and you know, like, so they're like trying to rethink things because you know the next thing they're worried about is like cinema, like the actual theaters, if they're gonna jump from there
Right.
to there.
Right, just because of Netflix and stuff, you mean?
Well, that and what's so interesting is like people are watching more podcasts and
Huh.
instead of TV, you know, or like Roku, or you know, more personalized channels. Like they're not caught up in this whole psychological type shows. So
Or where it's like, watch commercials every 5 minutes.
oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
so annoying.
it's
Yeah,
like capitalism, like built into TV.
Right,
You know, like
right.
consume.
yeah.
I feel like commercials back in the day were definitely legendary. Like,
Oh,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, commercials now is like boring. Like you said, it's just buy me. I
I mean, if it's epic,
before they used to like.
You know?
I feel like they have to try harder now because it's like we judge way harder because we're like, I don't want to see a commercial unless it's dope, you know. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to.
oh no, I concur 100%.
Because it's like we're so anti-commercial now because you know we're being, I don't want to say spoiled, but we're like used to like streaming and stuff,
the,
you know.
the best commercial one is one that doesn't look like a commercial.
Right.
Like,
They trick you. You're like, oh,
it's not even a trailer. It's just like, and there's a couple out there.
Yeah.
I just watched Pizza Bites commercial from the '90s, and that shit was dope.
Well,
Right.
I wanted a pizza bite after that.
Oh, and that's a well thought out commercial, man. You know,
No, you know.
you know, like yeah. When I was in film school, we had to do a commercial, and there's only 1 2 of us actually produced a decent commercial. I did an Apple.
Oh.
So you take a product already out there, and that's what I did, and just I thought of another way of going about it. But mine didn't look like a commercial. It like almost like the start of a movie, you know. And then you're like, then you realize it's that,
Yeah.
you know, just show them.
So what's next for you in your music venture? This
What
is about
is
you.
next?
So
No, I mean, we're just talking. But what's next? I mean, we're just wrapping up my album. Finally been working on it for 2 years, so I'm excited to kind of put the whole thing out there. It's my first full album. I mean, I've been performing a good number of those songs, but there's like another half of it that just no one's seen. And it's funny because we're already starting to record the next one, and this one's not even out. But
and this is all in the Noble House.
yeah, it's all under Genesis
Nice,
Noble House.
nice.
Yeah. Do you know that?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
I know Don Lowe.
Down low.
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
I've worked with him a couple times.
Okay. Yeah, they're all family.
yeah.
I'm lucky to. Man, it's crazy. I'm lucky to have them.
I'm a cinema guy.
Oh, really?
Well, kind of like we talk,
Okay.
just techniques and
Yeah, I
You
feel
know?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've worked mostly with Genesee, but Kate Ladie and Genevieve Goings and all them, they're all.
Genesee got a dope that Blood Diamonds and the Illest Alive. I got that on my playlist. It's a hard song.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure.
very New Yorky, hip hopish, and I don't really
Yeah.
like that style.
Yeah.
But he honestly killed that.
I mean, he's definitely New York influenced. He spent a lot of time out
I
there.
heard he's from New York.
Well, he was born in Berkeley, so he's kind of from both. I mean, he moved around a lot, but he definitely had some years out there. He had some years out here, you know what I mean? But he was in India. He'd be a good person on this podcast too. But anyways, so there's definitely some like New York influence in there. Like I think he was a teenager out there, so growing up during the
Heard
the
that.
golden
And
era.
he's a little old school. He older than me, so he was in that good era.
Yep. So running the streets in New York, putting it in songs,
The Bronx, baby.
But this dude can write, man. Like he writes for hell people, and not just hip hop, like lots of different things. Because the stuff that we're doing is not necessarily hip hop. You know what I mean?
And you said that did he write?
Yeah, I mean the stuff that we're putting out is definitely like written by him. He brought me a project, but the next project we're kind of writing together. Like he's kind of building me as an artist, I guess. So he's trying to teach me all the skills. Like I have a lot of the, I'm a photographer, so I have a lot of the like visual parts down, and I've been singing my whole life. But in terms of like writing and stuff, that's like a new skill that I'm trying to like get honed in on. And it's tough because I'm like surrounded by a ton of amazing prolific writers, so it's a little intimidating because it's like I listen to this stuff and I'm like everything I make is trash, but like it's not but it's like when you're surrounded by dope MCs, it's like you're like, how can I make it like theirs?
One thing that's dope because I'm an artist too as well, and like I love music, so watching other artists and hearing you talk like that, people like don't understand their own craft.
Sure.
Because whatever you make, only you can make.
Totally.
So it's super unique. Like, what I'm saying?
Right.
They make what they're making as tight because it's their tight, but it might not be as tight as your tight.
Well, I'm getting close. Like, I'm really good at like making hella melodies. So like people will send me beats and I'll send them back like hella melodies. Like, oh, this is what I hear when I hear this beat. And like I kind of have like ideas of stories for the songs, but just like constructing it and putting it in like a poetic way is just like I'm just learning. That's really all it is. I don't have as many years under my belt doing that.
If someone wanted to outreach to you, look for you, work with you, what the obstacle they have to do so?
I mean, right now the way it's kind of been is kind of how I just described, where it's like people will send me beats. I'll kind of say like, oh, I like this one, I like this one. This is what I hear. This is what it makes me feel like. I'll send them some melodies and stuff, and then we kind of like write together. That's kind of what it's been, which is not my ideal, but that's just what has been working up until this point.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day.
I guess what I'm saying is like, rest in peace, Tupac, long live Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Say Tupac sent you that hit him up, and he was like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, little Fly Nasty, I need you to sing on this song right here.
I mean, I would try. Like, it's not that I couldn't do it. It's just I could. It would have to be collaborative. Like, I'm not gonna like fake it and be like, I'm the best, like, which I know is like there's like
collaborative. How so?
Well, just again, like I'll send you some melodies. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Do you have any thoughts? Like, which may not work for somebody like Tupac. He might be like, you whack, but that's just where I'm at right now.
So like a lot of the artists that I came across, and like I love female singers. I'm big on that. Like half the music I make always has like some type of female hook on it, just because I like that style of that music. I like the hard rap and like smooth rap, but then I also like that smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like that, just kind of like that '90s style. So like when I branch out and I look for female artists or someone, like I just listen for the voice, and I'm like, oh, I like this voice, and then like I figure out what I hear,
Mm-hmm.
and then I present to them.
Totally. I mean, that's something I do too. People will bring me hooks that are already written, and then I'll kind of like, I'll either, if they want me to do it exactly how they do it, I'll do it. But for the most part, they kind of are like, you know, I want you to put your spin on it, so I'll
Sure.
take it and then I'll kind of like give it some flavor or whatever.
Just a structure, and then you make it you.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
so
dope.
I mean, before I was like writing, that's all I was doing, was just taking people's stuff that they've already written and kind of putting my spin on it. You know what I mean? But now I'm trying to do a little more. If people want to collaborate, that's cool. If they have something in mind.
I first seen you was on at the Complex.
I
I was one on there showing love, like, yeah, she
yeah.
knows.
That was one of my first performances.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, good
Yeah.
place to do it.
Yep.
Chi, I call him the Big Chow Man. Shouts out to El.
He's a sweetheart.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
my
you know
guy.
Chi well.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So you've seen him
A lot.
grow into his blooming self right now.
I like to believe I was a big part of that. You know what I'm saying? I first met Chai, you know, he was a very quiet guy, you know what I'm saying? But he was very smart, you know what I'm saying?
Such
Had
a
a lot
smart
to
guy.
say.
Yep.
You know.
Definitely a
I'm not going
writer.
to put everything out there, but you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Yeah, I like to think that I was, you know, hey man, be yourself. Now he's rapping.
Is he rapping?
He got a couple songs. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
You know,
I
came back
would
from
think
Mexico,
that.
living his best life. We went to the. He invited me to Straw Hat Pizza. We watched the. What fight was it? Ryan Garcia in the tank fight. Oh, cool dude. He came to visit me just last weekend at my spot here in the city.
Aw. Yeah, he's good folks, man. Talk about like a really genuinely nice
That's him.
human.
I gave him a hood name, the Big Chow Man.
Big
Big Chow Man. He's like, it's good.
I've known him for a lot of years. He approached me before I was even singing to make a music video with an artist we know from Japan. So, I mean, he wasn't even the one making the music video, but it was like he kind of put the whole thing together. And then I started singing after that, so it's crazy.
What are your plans on trying to break seal?
Breaks in what way?
Like, you know, what you're doing, obviously you're doing dope music. You're definitely connecting with, you know, a lot of good people to connect with. Because some people connect with a lot of people that really kind of go nowhere. I mean, everybody's craft is dope. I done found singers that were, you know what I mean, damn near dope fiends. I got some dope ass songs. Like, I've done, went on a couple island vacations and heard some dope songs from people that have never used them. So there's talent everywhere, no matter what shape or form.
Yeah.
But what I mean is like, you know, like, because I mean, it takes the community to build somebody to
That's
us.
true.
So like, we all have to support each other. And a lot of people that I see you collaborating with and working with are supporting each other.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of close-knit support going on through everybody. And not just like in the Slap Frost crew, but just in the Bay in general. I mean, I don't know, I'm really lucky because I feel like before I was singing, I was taking photos of everybody. And I was giving a lot of like, I was just showing up and giving people free, you know, just documenting the scene. And I think that because I was doing that for so long, when I started singing, people started getting back.
Gravitated.
Yeah, well, one, they didn't know I was singing, so they were like, wait, what? Like, you can sing too? But two, they were like, oh, you've shown up and done so much for us that, you know, they're just quick to support, which is sick. Like, that wasn't my intention when I was going to take photos.
So you grew up and born and raised Pomona.
No, I mean, I was born in Simi Valley, but I was raised in Palmdale, which is like an hour northeast of
I don't know why
LA.
I said Pomona.
Yeah, it's a P.
Palmdale.
Simi Valley.
It's a P. Yeah,
Afro
Simi
man.
Place
Valley.
for Charles Manson.
So
Was it?
yeah.
So
Manson
how does
was
a photographer,
Yeah.
a girl come from Palmdale
Yeah.
to San Francisco Bay Area
Yep.
and make a name?
Well, I mean, I was surrounded by music. My dad was a musician. He toured in the 60s. And so I was always photographing music even down there. And then out here, when I finally made it to SF, honestly, dude, I just like stumbled across like a little bar show, which A+ was playing at.
A+.
From Souls of Mischief.
Okay.
And he was just doing a little beat set. But when I got there, it was a night called Beat Culture, which I just said, like, I don't know, I got so tapped in out of nowhere. Like, I didn't even know that this scene was as big as it was at the time. This is like 2018. And I don't know, it was like all of a sudden I was part of this huge community and culture, just taking photos of everything. I was at every show. And then I accidentally, like, I had like a private account that like I would sing in my car to like get my feelings off. Like, I would sing other people's songs, like I would be feeling away, and then I would like I didn't know how to express my feelings very well with words. So instead of like doing that, I would like sing in my car and post it, you know. But one day I accidentally posted it on my photo Instagram, like, which I was like, oh, because it was kind of a secret. I wasn't really
trying to break out.
I wasn't really trying to sing. I wasn't really trying to let people know that I sang. It was like I was trying to keep those worlds separate, because I'm shy. I know it sounds weird, but like when it came to singing and stuff, I don't know, I have a lot of like stage fright and stuff, so I wasn't really, I don't know, my comfort zone was singing in my car. And so when it accidentally got posted on my other Instagram, all the people that I've been photographing were like, wait a minute, dude, like, what are you doing? Wow. Like, why have you kept this a secret, you know? And I'm just like, oh, don't look at me, like, but everybody kind of shoved me in that direction, like, nah, like, get on this hook, do this, do that, like, kind of just like, when are we gonna collaborate? And then I think that, like, I don't know, when Genesee reached out to me about 2 years ago, I started finally owning it. You know, nice. Like, I was like, all right, like, this is, maybe I really should, like, because before it was, I don't want to say it was a joke, but I was just like, oh, this is just something fun I'm doing, you know what I mean? Which, to an extent, still is the case. It's still a fun thing I'm doing, but when we started working on the stuff he and I were working on, I was like, oh, like, I really, you know, I have to take this seriously. Like, I have to start getting singing lessons so that when I perform, I don't hurt myself, and maybe actually start taking shows. You know, and about a year ago, I started taking shows, which was me having to come back to the 15-year-old triggered self that's like scared of performing. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take as many shows as I can to get over that fear, because I would perform before that as a teenager until a certain point where I don't know, I hit this weird stage fright thing when I was about 15, and I was just like, no more singing for me, you know, like, I just stopped completely. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And so that's why there was like a bit of hesitation.
Were you not supported when you were a teenager? I'm just curious.
It's not that I wasn't supported, it's that I think that my dad was in the music industry, so I kind of grew up in it a little bit. So
you're maybe a little hard on yourself?
Well, I'm hard on myself, but there was a lot of like, my dad put a lot of fear into me about the industry, and like women and people getting, you know, women getting taken advantage of, and what fame really means. Like, fame kind of freaks me out, and I just kind of had this moment like performing in front of people, and I was like, everybody's looking at me. And I just like realized I didn't like that feeling. Like, I like taking photos of shows and being in the scene, but not necessarily having like the pressure of performing and people like the spotlight on me.
But how about now though? Like you realize those are your fans. They're there for you.
Right.
I mean, that's gotta feel kind of good.
There's a thing I'm still working through, but I definitely, a year, like, compared to last year when I was performing, like, even on the Complex, I was like, ooh, you know.
You did really well on the Complex.
I mean, you wouldn't have known, but in my heart, I was like, I'm scared, you know, like, there's a stage fright, and I'm just being real and vulnerable. I could pretend like, oh, I'm the shit, but you know, it's just what it is.
I think you did really well at the Complex. Like, when I was watching it, you definitely got a unique voice.
Thank you.
You know, there's not, I mean, a lot of females are out there singing, no doubt. You know, we're going to interview a female group next.
Nice.
But where the Whitney Houston's at? You know, where's Little Flower Nasty at? You know what I'm saying? Because you definitely have your own style, and you take, what do you say, you're passionate about it. So, like, with your harmonizing, with your melodies, and, you know, how you vocally play, you know, your vocal instrument.
Right.
You know, like, that takes, you know, like you said, it's a risk. You know, it's a talent, and you got to try for that.
Yeah, and you got to practice. I mean, I think about it like, when I first started driving, I was scared. Like I had a lot of anxiety, and now I love driving, right? It just took a lot of hours and time. So in that same mindset, I'm like, all right, I'm really nervous and scared performing, and now, like, all right, I got to get those hours, and now I'm getting more comfy, you know? Like a year later, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to like move a little up there, like I'm like getting to know what to do with my hands, you know? Because it's like, when I have my camera and I'm on stage, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm like moving, I'm in my zone, like I'm not even thinking about it. But when everybody's looking at me and I have the mic on me, I'm like, you know, there's this anxiety and this different feeling, you know. So as I do it more and put in the hours, you know, it's getting easier and easier.
When I was younger and I was performing and doing shows, I was doing a lot of shows with Kung Fu Vampire and things like that, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Probably not till like my 15th show is when I kind of got, you know, a little more loose. Now I've done so many shows and been around shows, I'm not scared to like pump the crowd. I think my aspect now is to pump the crowd up for you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
right.
all about crowd control. And like you said, moving your hands, trying to do a little wiggle or something, you know.
Or even talking in between songs, like I'm like, what do I say? You know, because it's like really, I'm getting up there and I'm like being vulnerable and I'm just like belting out some feelings, which I'm just like, I tend to like, I have to like connect with the audience a little bit more and you know, try to, you know, just I've had shows where people are talking to me and it's hella fun, and definitely when I have the band behind me, it's like a whole other thing because it's not it's less pressure, I guess. I don't know. You know,
I see it like when I notice about a band performing behind you, it just everything's greater.
Yeah, it's a bigger vibe, it's a bigger feel. You kind of have people to riff off of as opposed to just like being up there by yourself. Like there's a little bit more pressure.
You can mess up too.
Yeah, right. You get a little bit of breathing room because they, you know, go off and do their thing, or, you know, I don't feel like I have to fill the stage with just me, you know. So it's, you know.
What are some of your inspirations to sing?
Music in general, or like musicians.
Like, well, musicians, singers.
I mean, I was definitely raised around a lot of jazz, so like Billie Holiday and
Interesting.
and Etta James, and but then later in life more like Erykah Badu and even Alicia Keys, you know. I mean, Amy Winehouse, I know it gets brought up a lot. I listen to her hella, but it's not even necessarily the sound that I'm influenced by. It's like the pain.
I don't think I've ever listened to Amy Winehouse.
Oh, man, this poor woman, but I definitely
She's no longer here no more, right?
Nah, man,
Rest in peace.
and I think that there are certain artists that fame really got to her, and I think that that's what makes me scared of fame in some ways. Like, not that I'd be famous, but I'm just saying, like, in that way, because it's like fame changes the people in your life, and that's kind of what happened to her. It's like as she got more famous, people that, you know, like her dad started coming back around and trying to like use it as an excuse to, you know, like, oh, I'm here now. I'm you know, it's all because of me. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, she dealt with it by drinking, and you know, eventually, you know, it's, you know, how it ended for her. You know,
Do you have any plans for radio?
You mean being on the radio? Getting interviewed on the radio? I have some stuff that's on the radio. Yeah. I've done some radio interviews in the UK, and like with each release, I'll do a little press release, and so I'll get, you know, some radio play and some interviews every time.
What radio stations?
I mean, there's KPOO, obviously. I've done some stuff with them. I'm drawing a blank on some of the stuff in the UK. And there's Creation Blues. Some of them are online. Some of them are like live on the radio. I mean, there's a good number of them. I'm just
How
drawing.
about main radio stations? You know, 106 KBL, 106 Power in LA, 97.9 The Box Radio out of Houston.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, yeah, it would definitely be a goal.
It's that girl from New York, Angie. What radio station was that in New York? The big Angie. I forgot her name, but it's big. He's a big radio.
The hot, whatever it was called.
Oh, I was on that, I think, actually. My friend was on that. My friend was part of that. He's not anymore, but yeah, he interviewed me a couple times through them before.
They're out of New York.
Yeah, they're
it's
in
like
New York.
the main radio station out there.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't even know until you said it. Just sounded funny.
We have, you know, the leftover time. We have the leftover time in that, you know, we can, hey, little Flower Nasti.
You want to come swoop in here real quick?
Drop a hook.
Yep.
You know, and then I got my other guy that I met from Florida. Hey, drop a verse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now we're getting a collaboration on, and now you're gonna push a song that you're on. He's gonna push a song that he's on.
Mm-hmm.
You're out here in Pomona in San Francisco. He's in Florida. You know what I'm saying? San Francisco, like these are networking, and this is our community. So like we like to show ATV is me and Dez. SGMB is my entertainment.
I've been witness to that. Like I've seen him. He's good in the studio. I've seen him really push. Like Kate, like I've seen him just amazing.
Right.
Amazing. Like
I'm real hands on.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know what I mean, I like to think I have a good ear. You know what I mean? So I sit with the engineer. You know,
he likes that choir sound too.
You know,
like that
big
female,
sound, yeah.
well, just that adding on to the rap. Like, but then he drops these female vocals, and you're just like, nice change up.
Yeah.
Like, and he just nails it. You know, and I get excited.
My whole thing is,
Yeah.
my whole
As
thing
long as you're
is-
feeling something,
yeah.
right?
Right? Oh yeah.
That's the goal.
the whole thing is they can't see it, they gotta hear it. You know, and the rawest, the livest sound that you can get through an audio is the best for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people record differently. You know, they have their own templates. Some people like to use a lot of the auto tune.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like to use that at all. Like, I don't sing, but for my artists, like, hey, let's try this, because you know there's many ways that we can fabricate your voice to make it sound how you want or get a certain type of sound without making it computerized.
Sure. I mean that's its own style.
You know, so
it's that T-Pain style, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I'm kidding.
I was there, right?
Yeah.
I was like there. It's not here.
I mean, it just depends. Like, there's a lot of different music. There's a lot of different artists doing different things. You know what I mean? But I would say we're probably more old school influenced from what I'm gathering. You know what I mean? So that old school sound is gonna be without the that like electronic sound. You know,
right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. So, what's your next project? I mean, what's your next show date?
Right now, I'm gonna be headlining a show in Santa Rosa. Going back out to Santa Rosa on June 9th. A bunch of amazing artists are on that lineup. It's hosted by True Justice and Vocab Slick. Just wrapping up this album. Excited to get that out there.
When will that be done?
We just finished the last song, so just gotta finish mastering and get this album cover art by Z-Man nice and painted. Which is it's gonna be worth the wait.
You can leak the name of the album.
It's called Sticky.
Sticky?
Nice.
Nice.
Which is,
Spelled how?
Sticky. It'd be funny if it were with an I.
Oh, I tried to ask. I had to ask.
Yeah, my studio in the house.
One of the songs on the album is called Sticky too. That was the first song we dropped a year ago. Tomorrow we
Remix to My Chevrolet.
Remix? What kind of remix?
You just perked a little curiosity there, bro.
I mean, we should be doing remixes for sure, just to be pushing. You know what I mean?
Like,
definitely more music videos coming.
I mean,
why not?
Honestly,
everything needs a visual now.
I got my boy Drew Masfrio just tapped in. He's an artist out of San Jose. You know what I'm saying? He just dropped a dope visual. We was a part of it. But like I said, the Lowrider Club, they're in that scene. You on the hook in My Chevrolet. And you got the homies rapping about they Chevrolets, hopping in Lolos.
I can get you through too low, for sure, guaranteed.
We have Frisco's Finest. They got their whole car club out there. Me and
I like
Warbird
it. I'm not mad at it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? Give us some little extra, and then drop the real single on them. Like, here, it's original, but we hyped it up. The homies hyped it up. Give it to the homies some.
Hell, have a music video with all these old school lowriders.
Would you be open to that?
I mean, yeah, that'd be tight.
Yeah, we got that on film there.
What you think, Tennessee? What you think?
We might got my Chevrolet remix coming soon.
No diss.
I'm sending you a link. It's all crazy.
It's about interpretation. It's about interpretation.
I'm sure when he sees this, he's gonna be like this.
Yeah.
With a big smile, like yes.
Yeah.
I
mean, when I first heard that song, honestly, like it took me out of the realm. It was like, oh, this is wet. Like that's my style. Like I said, you know what I'm saying? Like the old school vibe and everything. That's all the way around feel good song, crew song. You be with your lady, your family.
Love
you
song,
can be with the homies, be in the park, drinking a brew,
just cruising,
just barbecuing. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever. It's all around. Like it hits
the family
every
vibe,
aspect.
Yeah, community
vibe.
Good
the
vibe.
scene is there. I love how it's in the Bay Area.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I really wish you would have cruised down 24th Street, seen all the land.
Yeah, we were just out in Oakland. We only had a little bit of time with Zen Hao, who was the director.
Who?
Zen Hao.
Zen Hao.
He's a rapper too. He was part of the Balians.
Oh wow.
But
I know he is.
dope cinematographer. Like seriously amazing.
Wow.
But yeah, super tall. He's like as tall as this room. At least to me, because I'm little,
So can you give us some of your links, all your links?
Yeah, everything is just Lil Flower Nasti with an I, Lil. There's a website too. Anything you need to find is there. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the things.
The new album?
Sticky, but that's not out yet. I mean, it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. You gotta keep pushing it.
We've been working on it for the last 2 years. I'm excited to see, the final product. It's evolved a lot, so I'm excited to see like the birthing of it.
Well, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
This is KRUMP2LOAF, brought to you by the Sick brand. Obviously, I'm saying straight to it in the house. I'm your host, Spooky Sick. Big love, Lil Flower Nasty, Sticky album coming soon. Shouts out to the homies because we got a remix of my Chevrolet coming soon. We need all the car clubs. Shout out to Frisco Finest, Avalo Productions, Jose 1010. I love your boy. We here. Thank you.
Peace.
Thanks, y'all.